Hi, my name is Shira and I'm the Digital Literacy Coordinator for the Comox Valley Lifelong Learning Center. And today I'm going to be making the second video in my series of videos on using Skype. And we're going to focus on just introducing you to the interface. So introducing you to the window that you see when you log into Skype, and where things are, and just how to start a chat, how to start a video call. In the next video, we'll go into more detail on how to do these things. So, when you log into Skype, you can see the window looks like this. It's divided into two halves. So, on the left, you have this side panel, sort of, and what you see here is controlled by these buttons up here. These are kind of like tabs. They change. So right now it's set to chats. So that means that what I'm seeing here are all of my recent chats that I have. So chats being just groups of messages that I've had with specific people. So for example, the messages that I've had with my colleague Amy, I can click on this and you can see these are the recent messages that we've sent to each other. Okay, and we'll go into more detail again on this in a future video. So you can change what you see here by clicking the next button that says calls, and these are all the recent calls that I've made. So it's a record of the various calls that I've made. And then if you go one button over to contacts, this is kind of like your address book. So it has all of your contacts listed in alphabetical order. And in order to communicate with somebody on Skype, you should add them as a contact. And finally, the final button is notifications. And I honestly don't find this is very useful. Sometimes you'll get notifications from Skype. In this case, this one is about they're basically trying to advertise to me some of their paid features, which I'll touch on briefly. But usually the notifications that are important would be if you had missed a call or there was some sort of message that you missed or that you got while you were away from your computer. And those notifications would also appear under their respective buttons. So I don't find this tab to be the most useful, but it is there. Okay, so and then just above these buttons you've got this search bar, and search bars are always very useful. This search bar is very general, so that means you can see it says here people, groups, and messages. So that means that it will search through everything what you type in there. So if you type in somebody's name that you have on your contact list, it'll pull them up. If you type something related to something that you talked about with somebody in a message months ago, it'll pull that up as well. So for example, here I've got in this chat, we're talking about making posters. So I can just type in posters. And okay, so the first thing it's pulling up, so right now you see it's set to all right here. So again, you've got these buttons up here that are controlling what you see down here. So right now it's set to all. So first it's looking through the Skype directory. So it's looking through people that you could potentially add, and it's showing me there's people whose last name is Posters. But if you click on people, those are the only people that you'll see, right? But I'm going to click on messages, and you can see that it found, so I clicked on this, and then it went and highlighted posters in here. And if I didn't already have this chat open, it would open it for me. So it's very useful if you vaguely remember discussing something important with somebody, with one of your contacts on Skype, but you forget some details about it. It's very useful to know that you can search through all of your messages and locate the part of the conversation that's related to that important piece of information. So, okay, so in order to exit out of that, oh, and the last tab I should mention is called groups, and this is just, it's specifically searching through group chats. Okay, so to exit that, you press this X. Okay, and so that's basically, that's the search bar. And then at the very top, it says your name, and there's a dollar amount beside your name. And that's because Skype does have some paid features. So anytime you want to use Skype to call an actual phone number, so not using Skype to call somebody through the internet, so not Skype to Skype account, but calling somebody's actual phone number, whether it be a mobile phone number or a landline, for that you need money in your account, because that costs money. However, if you have Skype as an application on your phone and you have access to the internet, somebody can call your phone through that application. They can call you through the application. But if they try to call you through your phone number, that's what costs money. Okay, and then finally you have this circle here. It's the small circle with your initials in it. And there's also another little circle in the bottom right. So this little circle is important. Right now it's green, and that means that I'm letting everybody know that I am active or that I'm available to be talked to. So this is letting people know that if they want to send me a message, I'll likely respond, or if they want to give me a call, I'll likely pick up. You can change this, so if you hover your mouse over the circle, you can see it turns into this little down arrow. So if you click on that, you can change your setting. So right now it's on active with the check mark beside it. You can click away to let people know that you're away from your computer and that you probably won't be responding to them anytime soon. You can click do not disturb. And when you set it to do not disturb, first of all, it lets people know, please don't talk to me, because there's this, the circle turns into this red, like a do not enter sign, basically. But it also changes your settings so that your computer doesn't notify you if somebody has sent you a message. And also you can set it in your settings so that even if somebody's trying to give you a call through Skype, the computer won't notify you. So it's almost like you're also telling Skype, do not disturb me. And you can control what Skype does in this do not disturb mode in settings. Okay, so we'll click OK. This is just letting us know that that's what's happening. You will not receive notifications about incoming messages. Okay, and the final option, if you click here, is invisible. So the invisible setting, which you see, is this little gray circle outline, but what other people see, and well, let's go to the chats. What other people see is that it looks to them like you are offline. So if you look here at the circles beside all of my contacts in my chats, you can see little status circles on the circles beside their names that have their initials in them. And the ones that are offline won't have any status circle beside them. So that's what you look like on their list of contacts. So to everybody else, it seems as though you don't have Skype open, your computer may not even be on. Okay, so the final thing that I want to go over is if you click on this circle with your initials in it, a whole menu pops up, okay? There's two important things in this menu. One is your Skype profile. So if you click on this, it brings this up. And basically, there's a few opportunities here. First of all, you can update your profile picture. So if you want to associate a picture with your account on your friends and colleagues contact list, you can do that here. You can click on this and it'll open up all your files and folders, and you can select a picture that you'd like. But the most important thing in this menu is this Skype name, and we'll go over this in the next video when we're adding a contact, but it's very important to know what your Skype name is if you want other people to be able to add you. So technically they could also add me by my email address, but sometimes it doesn't always work that well. The Skype name is the easiest way to add people. So if you want somebody to add you as a contact, what you can do is if you click on this, automatically you get this little menu that comes up that offers you the option to copy that, and it'll copy it to your clipboard so that you can paste it anywhere else. So let's say you wanted to email somebody your Skype name. You could click this copy and then go into your email, open up your email in your browser, and you just right click and hit paste and it'll work. The Skype name, so in my case it's actually my actual name, but in a lot of cases it's a bunch of random numbers and letters. So just keep that in mind. If you see that your Skype name looks like a bunch of random numbers and letters, that's not unusual. And then in that case it's much easier to tell people your Skype name by literally just copying and pasting it. Okay, so we'll click this X to get out of this. And the other important part of this menu is the settings button, and if you click the settings, you get all these, you see all of these buttons on the side? They all bring up different settings windows. So I mean, I'm not going to go into detail about most of them, but an important one is that here you can, this one is whether to start Skype when you start up your computer, and if you're not using Skype a lot, I would suggest setting this to off so that your computer doesn't automatically have Skype running in the background and your computer will run a little bit faster. I use Skype quite a bit, so I'm going to leave that on. Here you can change the appearance of your Skype, so I'll let you just mess around with these features. You can see you can turn into dark mode, light mode, change the color of your messaging with this this preview window up here. The audio and video settings. So this is something that I went over in the previous video, but if you're having issues with your webcam or your microphone and speakers, this is the window that you want to pull up, and you have the option to blur the background for your calls. Just blurring your background will make you a little bit more anonymous, or like your living space a little bit more anonymous. And then you have some settings that are related to calling and messaging and the notifications. In your contacts, you can, under the privacy setting, you can control whether or not you're going to appear in search results. So if you remember when I typed in posters up here in this search bar, a bunch of people popped up. So you can turn that off so that people can't find you. However, if you do turn this off, then the people that want to add you are also going to have trouble finding you. So in that case, you would have to add those people. Okay, so I think that is basically it. I hope that this was a useful introduction to the interface, and in the next video we'll be going over using Skype for chatting, so for messaging like this stuff, and for audio and video calling. And we'll also talk about something called group chats. Well, thanks for watching and have a good day.